Never give up. Never give up. Some people are believers, some people are dreamers, some people work so hard, trying to survive. Some people cry, hoping for a brighter day. Never give up, keep your head up high. Take control of your destiny and keep on dreaming, dreaming. You have control of, some just the way it is, just the way it is. Some things you.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Kids for a Better World, a non-profit organization encouraging the empowerment of youth initiatives, and creating partnerships to address the needs of individuals, children, and families. Be the change.
Be the change and make the action, get involved. Be the change and make the action, get involved.
Good day again, fellow Liberians and television viewers in television land. I want to be grateful again to come to you this August day. I'm so overwhelmed, I'm happy, and then I think the studio itself is happy that we got in today one of the sons of the soil, a little boy who came up to be who he is today, and he's no other than Jackson George. You all know him. He is a household name in the Liberian community. Mr. George, thanks for coming, please.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. You have been, I mean, you won't know what the day is like for us at the studio here and to the New Liberian Foundation. As you all know, we come every weekend from Saturday 5 to 6, midnight, then Sunday morning 9 to 10. But again, we just want to thank the Honorable George for coming. Again, as I said, it is always thank you, and we hope that this will not be your last time.
No, thank you for welcoming me into your studio.
Thank you very much, and let's articulate. Again, not to take most of your time, a minute knows you were in the community, but I think few were not one, and when I know you in depth, will you just take the time to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit what you do in the community?
Well, thank you again. My name is Jackson George, a 21-year resident of the state of Minnesota.
Oh.
I usually call myself a Liberian American, you know, like they are Jewish American,
Yeah.
and that's something that I also want Liberians to start saying, that they are Liberian American, because there's some benefits associated with being Liberian American.
Right, thank you.
I came here as a result of the Liberian Civil War, like many of us, and so over the years I've worked in different areas, but most of my work has been advocating for Liberians in the Liberian community. When I work with the Lutheran Social Services, I resettle a lot of African immigrants, including Liberians, from refugee camps all over Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ghana. I also resettle people from Somalia, from the Eastern Bloc. So I had some good idea as to what Liberians were going through as once I came from the refugee camp myself. I had a good idea of what Liberia needed. So working in that capacity gave me a real insight, but it also gave me the ability to help a lot of Liberians. Then I move on I used to work for the Emergency Food Chef Network,
Okay.
where we develop an African food program
Okay.
to tailor our program to West Africans.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, because one thing that I found out that, like, if you went to SIP or other food shelves, Liberians were not really
Yeah.
refusing the food, but they were not really taking advantage or using the food.
Amen.
So I
Amen.
said,
That was a nice one.
why are we wasting all this food when Liberians are not using it? Why don't we
Yeah.
develop a program
Yeah.
to meet their needs?
Okay.
So the money, the food that they're wasting could go to people who really need it.
Who really need it? Oh.
And so we did that. And then after a while, I happened to form my own business, small business, which I still have. And I thought it wise, the idea have been lingering around, why don't we have a Liberian Business Association
Oh.
where we can come together and leverage our potential
Yeah.
to bring awareness to Liberians, to support Liberian-owned businesses. Because if you look at it at the end of the day, if anything happens in the community,
Yeah.
people come to businesses
Yeah.
to solicit,
So does it,
you know, and so
phone, yeah.
why are we not forming ourselves in ways that we've never done before, and do the things that we need to do, not only to help ourselves in the diaspora, but also to help Mama Liberia.
Oh, so strong. Well, viewers, you got it, you had it. 21 years in the state of Minnesota, or resident. From his profile to where he have worked, and if you listen to him keenly, it just been help. And I would tell you, not because he's my guest today, but please, if you have any problem, do not hesitate. Get to him. He's one of your brothers and sisters and sons of the soil who will listen to you. And if he can, he will not pocket you, but if he can help you, he will do it. He will show you means. He will show you avenues. He will lead you. Just to say again, thank you again. I was just talking 2 days ago to a workmate. And when I called your name, I told him that you were going to be a guest for me. I was so happy. And he said, who, Jackson? I said, oh, that man is a good man. I mean, it touched me. He said, I had a case, and he was with me all throughout in the court. And I was like, I was standing there and saying, wow. It is a resume right there. I mean, so, and what you just said here is not something that you put together just to make yourself good, but we're in the community, and you get there, people will tell them, say, yes, you did it.
Correct.
So,
You know,
yeah.
I don't sugarcoat.
Yeah.
I don't.
Now,
tell
one thing
you,
I know about you.
I don't tell you what I can do.
Yeah.
I'll be totally honest with you and tell you exactly what I can do.
Okay.
And so that's how I've been. So it depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah. And, okay, the Liberian Association, your membership, how do one become a member, or is it all Liberian businesses are members?
Let me just say this. The Liberian Business Association is a group of Liberian business professional entrepreneurs.
Okay.
We came together for a couple of reasons. One, to be able to network among ourselves. We have a lot of resources in our community. We got from dentistry to lawyers, doctors, photography shop. I mean, you name it. Whatever business that you can think about, Liberians own one of those businesses. The issue are we connecting with each other? Are we using the resources within our network? So take, for instance, if I were doing my taxes, why do I go to H&R Block when I have a Liberian who can do my taxes?
Very good.
If I were taking a passport size picture, why do I go to Walgreens when there's a Liberian who could do that?
Who could do that.
If I needed legal services, why do I go to take the money off our community?
Yeah.
And so with the population of Liberians in this community or in the diaspora, we're saying, well, we've made a mistake.
Yeah.
We have not identified the businesses within our community, and we have not created awareness to our community to support our community efforts. And so I always tell Liberians, let us be Liberian, but let's think Jewish. You know, there's nothing wrong with thinking Jewish. Let's support ourselves.
Of course.
And so the idea of the Business Association is to do that. The second thing under that is, as small businesses, we wear so many caps.
Yeah.
And we don't have the safety net that so many large corporations have. We don't have insurances. We don't have life insurance, health insurance, and all these things. Why don't we pull our resources together and and apply for these kind of a benefit. So now we put in place a death benefit. So if one of our members die, we can cover the cost. What about health insurance? Could we come together in a pool and apply for health insurance? What about legal services? If somebody sued us, how do we do that? Is by pulling our resources together and hiring a firm to take care of some of these issues that we want to take care of. But I think the major thing is, how are we supporting each other?
Very good.
And this is what I say. Let's take, for instance, the shipping issue in our community.
A major
Shipping
one.
is a major issue in our community.
Major,
People send the containers, the product, and sometimes it doesn't reach to Liberia. Shippers are complaining about the system in Liberia. I mean, there's so many different things that are coming out. Our restaurants, we have Liberian-owned restaurants. Are we supporting those restaurants? We are working on bringing all the restaurants together and working with them like we're doing with the shippers. The problem is we have not learned how to work together as Liberians. And so even if you went back to our homeland, you cannot find 5 or 6 Liberians owning a large corporation because we don't know how to work together. Everybody has his own small operations. The goal here is, how do we bring all of our photographers and together and open maybe your Office Max? You know, how do we bring all of our restaurants together, open one big restaurant, or we open a chain of restaurant that will have the same name that Liberians can easily identify? And so the process of doing these things are major. So when we started the business association, the first thing we did was to set up some of these things. But again, what has affected us is ethics, customer service. Liberians don't trust Liberians with information.
Oh, yeah, come with that, yeah.
So if I did my taxes with a Liberian, would everybody in the community know? Or if he got angry with me, would everybody know? So I feel comfortable going to someone I don't know.
I don't know.
Not necessarily that those people don't talk in their own communities too, but I think the business association wants to be a better business bureau, wherein if Liberians on the other side came to a Liberian business and had some issues, who do you call? Call a Liberian Business Association. We will deal with our members. And so while we are looking at putting together the shipping, all those who are shipping to come under the Liberian Business Association, the restaurants and all these businesses, what we are also saying is that how do we help our country? If you look at Liberia as a whole, all of the major corporations are owned by foreigners. All of the major corporation managers are more or less.
They bring them in.
Apart from Nobel, that has a Liberian president based in Liberia, and maybe a few others. But majority of the major businesses, it's surprising to note that most of these businesses are owned by a foreigner, but not only that, and I encourage direct foreign investment, but at least there should be some Liberianization,
the Liberianization policy.
You know, and even with that policy, you know, if you went to Nigeria or Ghana, you know, you won't have an oil company with a manager coming from Brazil. There will be a Ghanaian manager. Then you can have other people in different positions, and so we're looking at all of those things and saying, how do we help Liberia? But I think my approach to Liberia is totally different from so many other people. I don't think I have an approach to go into Liberia and say, you guys are not doing this wrong. So our first approach was to look at LIBA Liberia and say, okay, how do we work with LIBA Liberia? How do we when we started transacting with LIBA Liberia were much more too political. You know, the chairman at the time, D. Maxwell Kamaya, was also the chairman for MOVE, Mel Jones' political party. And so it affected the substance of LIBA.
The fabric of what?
Correct. And so LIBA could not separate itself from the political stigma. And so we had to discuss that issue and say, look, there has to be some separation. And you know, he saw the wisdom in it, and he resigned. And so LIBA is much more rebranding itself. And so we've signed a memorandum of understanding with LIBA Liberia, and the goal is for us in the diaspora, and sorry, you know, one of the things that we don't want to do is to go to Liberia. We all leave from here, go to Liberia, you see someone having a little shop, you come from the diaspora and open your little shop right by that person. It's unfair. You know, it's just like, you know, and then 2 weeks after they say the guy died, they poison him, or because it's just like an unfair advantage. You got access to the United States, you got access to financing, and you sell a small shop. All we're saying is that why don't we come together, open something that Liberians don't have on the grounds? Why don't we open manufacturing plant? Why don't we open packaging plant? Why don't we build hospitals? Why don't we do the big things that Liberians cannot do? But equally so, if we want to partner with those Liberians, let's build the capacity. So, take for instance, Photoshop with Honorable Mr. Norris. If there's a Photoshop in Liberia, we can link him with that Photoshop. He can supply the needs. He can build the capacity. We can partner with them. So we don't have to physically go to Liberia and open a business there. And so these are things that we are working on. We were able to work with some doctors to go and open a hospital in Liberia. We're looking at manufacturing. So our goal is to attract investment, but we want Liberian investment. And so we are looking at all the different ways of managing the process so that Liberia can benefit from what we have in the diaspora. Look, no country has succeeded coming from a civil war without members of the diaspora playing a pivotal role. Take for instance Rwanda. I mean, there's a good case scenario that we can look at and say Rwanda did this. Kenya is doing it. The Kenyans are building the country. I think for me, I think I really don't care what, when I say I really don't care, not in a loose way, I do care about the political system in Liberia. I do care, we as investor, we need our investment protected, we need security, we need a good environment for us to do business. But equally so, I think Liberians, we expect government to do everything.
That is one of the
and I've always said, has the government of Liberia stopped any Liberian or Liberian group from building a hospital in Liberia? No. Has the government of Liberia stopped any Liberian group from building a credit union or factory or whatever? No. The issue is, if you went to Liberia and you try to do that, it will stop you. Even in America, they got regulations, they got requirements. It took me a year to get my license. So what makes Liberia different from other countries? So my thing is, because you think you're Liberian, and you're supposed to go in there and just get it done easily. It's a wrong myth. Be business people. If the Lebanese can clear the container from the port of Liberia in 3 days, if the Nigerians can clear the container in 3 days, if the Fulas can clear the container in 3 days, what make Liberian can clear the container in 3 days?
It might take 1 month.
Because we are not organized. You have the Lebanese community, you have the Fula community, the Nigerian community, all organized. Why is it that the Liberian community is not organized, or Liberian businesses are not organized to do the same thing that they're doing? Sometimes we don't need to reinvent. We just need to adapt. You know, and so I think the goal of the Liberian Business Association in the diaspora is to work with our partners, work with Liberians. We need to develop our skills. We need to learn how to work together. And we need to be able to look at Liberia from a point where we see Liberia for how we can, one, contribute to the growth and development of our country, but at the same time, we are investing in our country. And so I think that's where I am, and it's difficult to navigate through the process and bring all of our Liberian people together, business people together, and get this vision for Liberia taken care of, or even in our community, but it can be done. And so my goal is to continue to work in that direction, make sure that we are taking care of ourselves in the diaspora, but equally so we are contributing to the growth and development of our homeland.
That's very well said. And again, it is easily said in the Liberian community, if the man you pay 1 cent and 1 cent towards anything, you respect it. You know?
So our membership is open to Liberian-owned businesses. If you own a business, register in your state or in your locality. You have a physical presence. That means you have a place that people can walk in. And our membership fee is $150. Renewal is $125 if you're a member already. You get a plaque that you can put on your wall. I'm a member of the Liberian Business Association. You get a lapel, you get a T-shirt, but you participate into this network. And I think Support Liberian Businesses campaign, we launched that in Liberia when we were there. We are hoping that we can start that campaign this coming summer, where we can bring the awareness to Liberian community to support Liberian-owned businesses. But we're still working on our ethics issue in terms of how we deal with ethical issues within the business association, so that we can serve as our own Better Business Bureau and give the Liberian the trust that they need to support our businesses. Because sometimes we too, as business owners, we've not done a good job in terms of how we relate to customers. We respect foreigners better than we respect our own people. I think every Liberian should be given the same respect that we give to other people who walk through our doors.
Like I just bring you when you get in Brooklyn Park, where they got the Pepper Creek village, Pepper Creek, and where they got a laundromat. Yeah, there is a shop there owned by some smiling guys, and you will see, I'm gonna tell you, the influx of Liberians, because the guys sell up like a cocaine stuff there.
Correct.
The influx of Liberians going to go buy food over there, and it is so huge.
You know, I think. Look, Liberians are good people.
Oh yeah.
We are.
The Israel call us the Israelis.
We are a strange set of people. You can be selling pepper right here.
Yeah.
If a Nigerian is selling pepper right here, for some reason, Liberians believe that Nigerian pepper is better than the
It's true.
So we're one of many.
Yeah.
But I think it can be changed.
It can.
We do have Liberian, and you know, sometimes I think we are complacent.
Yeah.
We do have Liberian grocery stores and Liberian. We've said, come and join the Liberian Business Association. Get within the network, because one of the first things within our network is for us to participate, to purchase from within our network first. Before we get outside of our network.
Of course, yeah.
So take for instance like the restaurants. Are you part of our network? Remember, if you're part of our network, we cannot purchase from you from outside of our network till we in our network. So if I wanted to eat, I would have to first go to a Liberian restaurant before I go outside, right? That's part of our ethics.
Yeah.
How many are part of our network?
That can be pushed.
How many grocery stores are part? Every Liberian going to the Nigerian. How do we start the campaign if you are not part of our network? How do we campaign for you? How do we advocate for you if you're not part of the network? It's not going to happen. So you have to have a skin in the game to benefit from what it is. And so we're calling on Liberians all over the diaspora. Look, if you own a Liberian business, join the network of Liberian businesses so that we as together collectively we can leverage our potential, and we do have it.
We do.
And we do have
it. And this is what people can't actually get, but we do have it. Liberians got the potential.
We do. And we do have the resources too.
Yes, and people
it's the issue of trust. And so we're saying, look, the Business Association, we are not. Before we organize ourselves, we took a look at all of the organizations. Why a Liberian organization come up today and they're gone tomorrow? Or why is it that they are not effective? Why is it that too many at a time we are fighting when it comes to the political side of it? Who's going to be the president? Who's going to be, after people create an organization, in few years, one guy will come with 10 or 15 people, he wins the election, he got no clue of what this organization is all about.
Where it comes from, where it is heading,
how financial reports are being made, how transparent is the process. All of these things we took into consideration and say, what do we do? Remember, my background is in organizational management and leadership. So I'd be like, okay, if all of these organizations are here, how many of these organizations are functional? How many of these organizations are moving in the right direction? So we're saying, in a business association, if you want to be a member of the business association, it's open. Are we having elections? No, you work your way to the top. You can't come from the outside because you register today, and because we have elections tomorrow, you run for office and destroy the organization because you have no interest.
Because you got no dream.
No dream or no interest.
No.
And so we want you to be a part of the process, work your way through to the top. And by that time, if you work your way through to the top, we know you got vested interest. You
then
know,
you
and
have
so,
kind of know all the streamline.
exactly.
The
You know,
downfalls, the
and
uprising.
so if we had 4 Basa people or 10 Basa people in the organization, you Basa men will vote for you, you know, because that's how it's always been.
Now, how always been
We've been tribal. So we did take into consideration all of these issues, but I think the issue of trust in leadership, and I think it's an earned process. You don't, people don't trust you. You have to earn that trust, and that's where we are with the business association. So I'm of the hope that the business association will be very strong, and we'll create partnerships where that's necessary. Take for instance the issue of dual citizenship. Like I said before, we are Liberian Americans. We own businesses here. We're born in Liberia. Most of us are born in Liberia.
But we're born in
Liberia is our homeland. We got kids here. I got 4 kids in America. My kids are American citizens. They might not want to go home to Liberia. I will have to be coming and going. So should I just say I'm not a Liberian, I'm not an American because I want to go to Liberia and be president of Liberia? So these are issues that Liberians will have to face reality. Let me just say the issue of citizenship in the United States. First of all, we must be grateful to the United States for granting us citizenship when we came here out of fear of being killed in our own country. We ran, we fled. The second thing onto that is we have our senators. We can have impact in what's happening in our homeland. If we talk to our senators and throw light to our senator and say, look, I'm a Liberian American and this is what happened in my country. I need your help. Maybe through State Department they can get some traction and get some answers to some of the questions that we need. But I think that the major thing about that is how we as U.S. citizens can come together and have influence on dual citizenship. We can do it alone.
This is a huge
so the Business Association have partnered with YOLA to advocate for that dual citizenship issue because, again, it benefits Liberia. The fact that we now can invest into our country not as foreigners but as Liberians.
Yes, as a Liberian.
It also, and the ironing about this whole thing about this, we send too much remittance back home. Yet you are calling us U.S. citizens. You can accept our money, but you cannot accept us as Liberians.
No.
And so the issue, the way we're going to approach this issue is to lobby. I don't think it's a right. I don't think we should see it from a right point of view that it is our right to be Liberians. I think we give up our rights, but equally so we are Liberians because we're born and grew up there.
Of course,
we carry the blood. And so my thing is we should approach the issue strategically. We should approach the issue with a sense that look at us, see it for what benefit it brings to Liberia.
Yes, what benefit that we are still Liberians, even though we are on this side.
Even though we're not, even though we ran and we left the country and we had to survive.
But it's what benefiting them too?
What benefiting them. So let's look at the win-win situation and not a win-loss situation.
Yeah, but I would tell you, most of the time when you go at these swearing programs, you hear when the judge come to congratulate and give his last speech, he will tell you, now that you have denied your country of birth, citizenship, you have joined us here, do not forget about where you come from.
Correct.
And those words always resonate in my heart, is that do not forget. He's not saying that forget about your home.
I'm not a politician, but I can see where their fear lies. Some of their fears. We come from the U.S. We're much more educated. We have resources. So if we all were to go home today and have resources and education, we could all take positions in Liberia. We can win elections because we got the resources to campaign and do stuff, which is not technically true anymore, but that can happen. If something happens in Liberia like Ebola, we all get our blue books and we run because we got a place to go. And the Liberian people stay there because they got nowhere to run. So you can see their argument. So, but we can say, look, it's true that some of us, because we got our kids, and so there's pressure coming from the U.S. Oh, daddy, you have to come home. You can do this. So we got pressure coming from here because we got our bases here. But equally so, we love our country. And so if there's stuff that can be stipulated within this, if you're U.S. if you're Liberian American, you can't be president, you can't be vice president, you can't be defense minister, you can't be chief justice. I think it makes sense.
But
You know,
even to that, oh yeah.
I mean, there's some strategic areas
Yes,
that
yeah,
you can
makes
say,
sense.
as long as you carry a U.S. citizenship
Yeah.
or any citizenship for that matter, these are areas that you cannot go into.
Yeah.
But let's start from here. And gradually we can grow.
We can grow
We
and
can
grow.
grow into that. So I think the issue of citizenship makes sense because it only brings in investment. It only open up the country,
Yeah.
and it's something that the business association have partnered with Yola, and we're working towards. And
Please.
hopefully,
Please.
the new government that is coming in
Yeah, maybe
will see some
truthfulness and
truthfulness.
something
I think this present government was pushing it. It was within Congress. I think right now there's something within the court system that is looking at the dual citizenship. But we have to lobby. It's not about, we have to lobby. The people in position who are going to vote against it, we need to lobby them. And that's where the businesses come in. That's why I'm saying we need to be businesses and not just individuals.
Yeah. Then one thing we kind of like touched on about this dual citizenship, even though the guys at the top will say no, but when their wives get pregnant, they send their wives over to come and deliver.
Correct.
When the Congress ladies, quote unquote, gets pregnant, they come over here to come and deliver. But then when it falls in baby for them, then they start thinking. But now your child is an American citizen because
Correct.
he or she was born on the soil.
But so you can see that
So right there is a dual citizenship.
some hypocritical thing going on. But
American.
we have to make a logical explanation to them.
Yes,
like
and try
I
to
told
connect them.
like I told one person, I said, okay, let me ask you a question. What if we Liberian American talk to our senators to put in a law that no Liberian should come from Liberia to born babies here?
Yeah, the born baby.
How do you feel? But why would you people do that?
Very.
So I say, so you can understand,
You can
if you
understand.
want your kid to be Liberian American, why don't you want us to be American Liberian?
American Liberian.
Yeah,
it's true.
But these are some of the things, and so we have to make logical case so they can come around and see the logic. I think right now we're making emotional case. We were Liberian, we left Liberia because of the war, and we're supposed to be Liberian. We are Liberian American. And so in as much as we ran and we came into exile and found ourselves in the United States, we should still make a logical argument because Liberia has laws.
Of course.
We have a constitution, and so we must respect our constitution. So that's where I'm coming from and say, then let's lobby. From the business association point, we say, let's lobby, because I always say 90% of us who own businesses are U.S. citizens.
Oh yeah. Okay, thanks again. Well, I just want to brief you a little bit about this Liberian consulate. We have heard for some time that it is now they got a branch in Minnesota to say that in the Midwest.
Well, let me put it this way. I think the idea of establishing a consulate in Minnesota was a brilliant idea.
That was brilliant.
I think with the population in Minnesota and the Midwest, I think it was the best idea that came across. I think the process is still on. From the Liberian government point of view, they've designated me as that person to head the consulate, to be an honorary consul here. The process is now with State Department going through all of the modalities to make sure that we do have a consulate here. So the process, I think we were made to believe that the process was too easy. It's not an easy process. It's a tough process. There's a lot of clearances that need to be given. There's a lot of things that need to be done. And so I think, like I said, when the ambassador came and made the announcement, he made it look like it was easy to acquire, but it's a long, lengthy process. And so I would just tell Liberians in Minnesota and the Midwest to say, whether it's Jackson, Georgia or not, there will be a consulate here. I think so. So we should just bear patient and understand that this process is tedious. And once the State Department and the U.S. government grant us as a quarter to operate within this region, then Liberians would no longer have to go to Washington to deal with that issue. But that's where I would want to leave it for now.
Leave it for now. Oh, thank you very much, because I have been a beneficiary of the same process.
Good.
Thank you again. You want to go home quick?
Who?
No, we want to go home quick.
Oh, we can go ahead.
Okay,
We got time.
Yeah, we got time. Okay. The present political fever that is languishing in our country, just from this ring to this ring, and people being disgruntled, people having mixed feelings. What is your own take about this whole political?
One thing I've learned from where I sit, I do not have a personal view. Whatever I say as Jackson George will be narrated as the president of the Liberian Business Association in the diaspora. We want to stay clear of politics.
Of course.
We are business people. Or whichever government the Liberian people would elect will be a government
paramount.
we will be willing to work with.
Okay.
We don't have a preference.
Okay.
We see Liberia as a country that we as Liberian businesses in the diaspora will want to continue to support.
Yeah.
We've made that clear to LIBA, Liberia, that we hope that we all have the same vision, that we are non-political, and we want to stay that way.
What is LIBA Liberia?
LIBA Liberia was created by an act of national legislature in Liberia.
Okay.
And so it's Liberian Business Association Liberia.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So
okay.
but that's my view. On the contrary, I would just tell Liberians we've come a long way.
Long.
14 years of civil war devastated our country.
Too bad.
And the country is gradually
Coming out
of that total destruction. I don't think we've healed a lot more.
Yet.
I think there's a lot of trauma going on. And that way I think we who are privileged and we who are fortunate, we need to come in and help our country. Look, I think we rely on government too much.
Too much.
You know, for me as a person, if Ganta doesn't have a hospital, it's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
If Baza doesn't have a soccer pitch, it's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
If Kakata doesn't have a community center, it's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
Why do we think that government's supposed to do everything? Government should never be the largest employer.
No, but now it
And
is.
so we should encourage more Liberians to be business people. We should think business when we look at Liberia. You know, I was at an interview and somebody said, well, JFK, you go to JFK, it's just like, they call it just for killing. So I'm like, okay, so you've recognized there's a problem. What if we get together and build our own hospital to show that one of the ways that government can develop is for the private sector to show government
that we can do
that we can do it. So if we develop our hospital, and this hospital, everybody is coming to our hospital because it's clean, it's functional, everything is going, government will have to upgrade its skill because nobody will have respect for government. So for government to get our respect, government will have to upgrade. You will have people leaving government to come to the private sector. So the issue of all of us running home to work for government, I think we should seize that mentality. I think government should beg for employees because we all should be in the private sector. Liberia should be a hub for West Africa. I think most of the arguments that we've made in the past when it comes to building a rubber manufacturing plant in Liberia or iron ore palleting plant, we say, oh, Liberia doesn't have the capacity and Liberia doesn't have the population. Look, we are sitting at a strategic point in West Africa. We got Sierra Leone, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and other West African countries. We can import labor. So that argument should not exist no more. We got more skilled Liberians now in the diaspora. We can get Liberians to come home and contribute. But there's some things that government need to do, and there's something the private sector need to do. Government must give us security. Government must give us electricity. Government must give us running water. Government must create the enabling environment for us as private sector to thrive. But then again, you look at it, you say, why are the Lebanese doing well? Why are the Fullahs doing well? Why are the Nigerians doing well? What can they see that we can see? You know, and
because they are trusted.
What are they doing that we can do? Why are the banks giving loans to these people to build bigger and better things and not us? So we do have some issues that we need to deal with. Maybe we're not paying our loans on time. Maybe our loans are not tailored the way it's supposed to be because we are Liberians and we favor foreigners. And so, but these are all the things that we need to work towards and sit down and strategically sit down as businesses and say, how do we approach the issue? So when we were in Liberia, we have taken 2 fact-finding missions to Liberia. And so we look at, we met the Bankers Association. You'd be surprised that there are about 9 or 10 banks in Liberia, only 1 Liberian bank. The rest are Nigerian, Ghanaian banks or foreign banks. Well, that's a problem.
That's a big problem.
Most of the major hotels, I would say 5-star hotels, they are owned by Lebanese. We got Liberian hotels. Are they 5-star? Are they up to standard? No. That's a problem.
Petty ones.
So if we got 10 Liberians with hotels, why don't we come together, pull our resources and call our hotel Liberian Paradise? They all look the same. So if you went to Ganta, you see Liberian Paradise. You went to Maryland, you see Liberian Paradise. You go, but we're building our standard now because we're pulling our resources. Why don't we do that? But most Liberian think that Boulevard Palace or Royal Hotel is owned by one person. No, it's not. People come together and pull their resources and build those kind of establishments. So we need to crack the code for us working together. The issue of who would be the CEO and who would be the controller and who has the power, these are the things that have divided us. These are the things that have stopped us from progressing as a people. Every Liberian organization has a leadership crisis, leadership problem. This is wrong.
Very wrong.
You know, we
even in the community and the county association.
That's my point.
The county association itself have leadership crisis.
And mind you, with all the crisis, you put someone there, it's not that something going to change.
No. And then the big organization will get you the OLM.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. But my point is, I think we need to come back and love our country. I think we like our country, but I don't think we love our country. And how many Liberians will cry when we sing in the national anthem? How many Liberians will go to the choir when you sing in the national anthem of Liberia, or you sing the Pledge of Allegiance? We say we have to say it.
Yeah, we have to say
it. It doesn't touch our core values.
No, it doesn't.
And so these are things that we need to do. The love of our country. Look, if you went to school in this country, if you sat in the classroom with other nationals in this country, and you learned what you're supposed to learn, and you were fortunate to go to Liberia, how is it impossible for you to implement what you've learned here? What makes the kid sitting there, the same fellow sitting there in the classroom with me, can have a job in the United States and do what he learned, and I can't do that in my country? These are things that we need to be able to sit down and say, what's wrong with us? Something is wrong. We got the same education, but we're doing things totally different. How is that possible? How can we see these things and know that it can be done? You need Liberians who are dedicated to the process, who understand, who really got the education that they got, and who can implement these things. And so when we look at our home country, we can always say, do we have Liberians who love our country? But there are so many things on the table too. You know, after 15 years of destruction, I think there was a lot, but I think the private sector, Liberians in general,
is that too much too soon?
I think Liberians in general should have a different mentality. How we do develop Liberia. Let's build schools. The issue of school in Liberia should not be left with government to do. If 10 Liberians can come together and build a school and subsidize the school fees for kids to go to, we are helping our country. If we can build clinics in our villages, we help in our country. A few months ago, I started working with the county organization to put together the county organization to do what they said they were organized to do in the first place, to help the counties in Liberia. Let's build Let's build clinics back home. Let's build water. Let's put water pumps in different villages. Let's bring some sanitation issue to our people. Look, the people who were born in the villages, they didn't choose to be born there. None of us choose to be born where we born. You know.
I like that.
You know, I always tell my dad, I say, if I had a choice, maybe I'll be Bill Gates' son.
but
I'll be born a big girl, but you came and took me. I didn't have the choice. I didn't choose to be a Liberian. But I think Liberians we need to have respect for each other. And for some Liberians to believe that they're more Liberian than the other is totally wrong. I think we need to treat each other with respect. No matter what position you are in, we should respect Liberians, and because we don't respect each other, we don't care about each other. And the only time we care about each other is somebody dies or there's some tragedy in our community. Then we come together, and even when we come together, we still talking crap about the person that is in tragedy. And so I think we need a new direction. We need a come home thing where we can sit down and look at ourselves and say, am I a true Liberian? I mean, is it touching my core? Do I need to contribute to that great country?
Yes.
And so for me, it doesn't matter the political structure. What matters is how much I can do to help my fellow man. And so if we all can help one person, we've helped the whole nation.
Yeah, I mean, like I tell you, we were just in Maryland last time on our township convention. It was what was saying, like one of our cousins, they call Bama Bully. He graduated from here, he did community development and what have you. He got a master's, everything, mass communication, and he gone back. And that was, I was looking at him and said, I mean, you made a sacrifice.
Yeah.
And since he went there was a project almost 2 years ago. Since he went, that project it's kicking off. They had a luncheon. We're trying to build a community, a health center in Clay, which have been long since given. And then you said, but that person, just to make that sacrifice. And like I said again, we can't keep pointing fingers.
No.
This is what it's kind of like eating our fabric in our community.
People are making decisions.
Yeah.
People made decisions to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we sit back here and complain. What decision are we making?
What decision are we making?
If I took this coffee cup and you said nothing, I would take the next cup. If you say nothing, I would continue to take.
Continue to take.
And that's why
even though they are not beneficial to me.
Correct. But we need to build institutions.
Yep.
We need to be able to look at wrong and say it's wrong.
It's wrong.
But if I took the coffee cup and put it down, and if I came to you and you guys say, Dan Jackson, you're great, you're the best, I would take more coffee cups.
Take more,
exactly. We need to hold each other accountable.
We need to hold
each other
accountable.
And so
that's accountability.
When I hear Liberian pointing finger and blaming everybody else, until you sit in that seat, you got no clue. And so you blame until you sit there and you can't do nothing.
Of course.
It happens in our communities. If you look at our community organizations and structure, everybody complain and they go for election, they win, and the organization is still at the same point.
Yeah, I will tell
now the new group starts to complain, and but I think I've come to the point where my complaint is more proactive. If I believe that JFK is not doing what it's supposed to do, then let's build our own hospital to show JFK that we can do it. If we believe that Liberians don't have jobs, let's build our manufacturing plant and hire them, train them and hire them. So we're trying to get Liberians to come together to get into this, to investment groups, and say if 25 Liberians can get together and open a manufacturing plant in Kakata to package gari and other things to take it off the market for in the open pan and sell it at the same price. You're hiring more people, but you also creating a health condition that is better for our people, because now they don't have to buy gari on the open market. They can buy packaged gari for the same price that those people are selling it. So instead of us complaining that the government is supposed to do this, now remember now, government is of the people, by the people, for the people, right? So we are government. And we're complaining about ourselves, because if we felt something was wrong, it is our duty, our silver duty, to question that. But we should question that responsibly, and we should also be constructive in our criticism. You can't just say, Jackson, this cup you're drinking from is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
But you have given me no alternative.
No, because I cup I got.
That's the only cup I got. That's all I know.
Yeah.
So give me an alternative to say, Jackson, this cup is bad. The reason why this cup is bad is because of A, B, C, D. But if you did this, this cup will be better. The mentality that we have is, I know this cup is bad. The only time this cup can be better except I sit in that seat. So instead of me giving you the tools to work to improve this cup, I hold it on to me until I sit down in that seat.
And then when you sit there,
when I sit in the seat, then I get
to take more time.
Not only that, but when I sit in the seat, I get to understand that this cup was never for Jackson. You know, the cup was never for Jackson. This cup that Jackson was drinking from was never his. Now I'll be like, oh.
Okay.
Well, how do I go back to Jackson and say, Jackson, I'm sorry? But I always tell people in government, my friends, I say, look, when you're sitting in that seat, government job is not a lifetime job. There can be cabinet reshuffle. You can lose your job anytime. Respect people. But if you don't respect me while you're sitting in that seat, and tomorrow I sit in that seat, give me the opportunity to disrespect you too. So when two of us are sitting down on a chair, we can share notes. Because the Liberian way is to treat you bad, and then tomorrow they say, my man, I'm sorry, forgive me. Well, why don't you let me do my part? Then when you move, two of us can share notes and say, my man, both of us sorry now. You know, and but I mean, culturally, we have to move beyond the petty jealousy, the backstabbing.
Even say at work,
you
at
know,
these small workplaces.
We need to,
you know, say, oh, too much Liberian, oh, I don't want to go.
Some of the issues that we go through, we are in exile.
We are.
And people hold together in exile.
We are.
And Liberia is the only country where it's national go home for vacation. You don't go home for vacation. You go to different places that you haven't seen. That's why they call vacation. When you go home, it must be to invest or to do something. You don't go home for vacation. When I hear Liberians say I'm going for vacation, I'll be like, wow. You can't go home for vacation. Nigerians don't go home for vacation.
No,
they go home to build their houses or do their business or other than Ghanaians don't go home for vacation. You don't go home for vacation. And so we need to change the little things, our mindset. We need to change our mindset and start looking at Liberia like Liberia is for all of us. The development of Liberia does not rest in one person here. I think we make a mistake to say the president, we give the president too much power. We give the president too much power.
They use it at the maximum.
And we hold the president responsible for everything. I mean, if the road to my house is not paved, just for me to call the people in the place to cover the holes in my place, government got to do it.
Man got to do it.
And so,
my brother, if you just bring a community strength, you say, well, look, you know they will roll from your way, whatever, all the work on it.
Correct.
Why not come like on a Saturday?
Let's fix it. But government got to fix it for us. And so my thing is to Liberians out there, if you own a business and you have been in business, you have a physical person, you register in your state or in your country, join LIBA. Good things are happening. We are partnering with major businesses. We got a company that we're trying to work with right now, and I want to go and build units in Liberia, you know, that Liberians in the diaspora can pay for. Build a city like in Brooklyn Park. And Liberians here can pay their monthly mortgages to own a house in Liberia. But we want that community to look like community in the diaspora that we are used to. We are used to it. And so, but we wanted to be a Liberian investment program. So we're working in ways that we've never done before. We're looking at how we can have insurance for our people back home. So we have the insurance company here. We work with our people back home, the hospitals and clinics back home, to ensure that if my mom is in Liberia and I'm paying $20 a month, my mom has access to that hospital. So that means because we can be sued in America, we have to upgrade our hospital to American standard. So there's a lot of benefits in that. So we got to identify the hospitals or the clinics, and we have to work with them and say, look, if we got 200 people in our pool, we'll be paying you $25,000 per month. These are our requirements. You have to pay your nurses this, you have to pay your doctors this, you have to have this, you have to have this and that. Because we are insured here, and so we can be sued in the United States. So we are looking at all the modalities and all the ways in which we can do that, even creating a credit union where we can also have one in Liberia. We're looking at so many different things that we can do. So it's not easy. I'm not saying we're going to accomplish everything, but the idea, I think everything starts with an idea. And once you have that idea, other people can come take it over. There are people with better ideas.
That people.
You know, some people just need to see this cup and be able to fix it better than what it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is so good. I used to remember when we were small, we used to see people used to go and buy craft.
Correct.
In Liberia.
Yeah.
Bags. This is basically any we would call it.
Correct.
Shoes and
But
whatever.
remember now.
And the guys there used to fix it right down. Cold pots.
Remember, we have Free Zone. We have we had the Magic Factory.
Yeah.
We have Pack Up In.
Yeah, back up.
We have all these industries.
But
And I think our goal is to bring these industries back to Liberia and to work with
Mr. Judge,
work with government,
I know.
work with autonomous agencies, work with the private sector, partner with foreign investment. But I want Liberian to drive the economy. I think our goal is for Liberian to drive our economy, and so
Thanks a lot.
That's why
I mean, we had a whole lot to cover. So you see, you will know that because we got a whole lot to cover.
that's a lot to cover.
Yeah, even say 1 hour is so small. So and again, and the viewers in television land, you had your humble servant. I call him your humble servant. This gentleman is humble. And thanks again for coming.
Thank you.
And we look forward that you will come again, bring maybe your vice president, your secretary.
I can bring a whole.
Yes, we can
I think
come.
next time we'll have a whole more.
Yeah, please, we can come in then and we can articulate a little bit. We got a whole lot for our community people. And I think you watching this, you got a gist of what we can do and what we can bring to the table. We have complained a whole lot that when you go to places, you see Somalian faces out of you. We can do it too. And these gentlemen are working very hard, and we all should put hands there and work hard. They do our citizenship. We are with AIDS, and we pray that everything that is going back home will go fine. And the election will come and go over.
Right.
The courts are now looking at the complaints file, and sooner or later they will come up with the results. And people are kind of saying war. We know that there's no more war for that country. God Himself is tired of war for our place, and God will curse whosoever will He bring a war there. And so again, so Josh, I want to shake your hand again.
Thank you.
Yes, because I tell you, man, you're brave to come, because most I have called, I have made public announcement. Even those here are tired me in the calling. So thank you again.
No problem.
You got any last word?
Well, I just to Liberians out there in TV land, support Liberian businesses. For us to support our country, we need you to support our businesses.
Yeah.
Yes, we do have our issues.
Yeah.
We are learning.
Yeah.
We are meeting and talking about best practices.
Yeah.
We are improving our businesses.
Yeah.
Give us a chance. Support us like you were standing in line in a Nigerian shop.
Yeah.
Or support foreign businesses.
Amen.
Help us to grow. Help us to do what we're supposed to do. Tell us when we do wrong.
Yep.
We are not different. Just tell us when we do wrong, and we'll listen to you. Call the Liberian Business Association. We have a website, LIBA-USA.org.
Yeah.
You can complain on our website. You can call me, 612-607-4233, 612-607-4233, and complain about any business that is member of our business association. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Never give up. Never give up. Some people are believers. Some people are dreamers. Some people work so hard, trying to survive. Some people cry, hoping for a brighter day. This is the life we live today. Never give up, keep your head